Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video on another cold and chilly day in Newcastle. Despite what has been reports after reports after reports on Newcastle selling players, are Newcastle finally close to bringing somebody in? Reports coming out, Newcastle have agreed a deal with Manchester City for the 18-year-old youngster, wonder kid, Alfie Harrison. So we're going to talk a little bit about him in this video, as well as the fact that Newcastle have been pushing back on Bayern Munich with regard to their 15 million offer. Said last night Newcastle had rejected it. There was question marks as to whether Bayern Munich may have come back. We'll talk on that. And have Newcastle agreed a deal on Almiron? That is what is being reported this morning. If you are new to the channel, be sure to go ahead and hit subscribe. Loads of videos coming out at the moment as we hit into the busy end of this January transfer window. I am down at the Fulham game this weekend down in London as well, so if you see me, be sure to say hello. Hopefully we can get a win and get through to the next round of the FA Cup, and that's what it's all about this season, is what can we try and get done this window, what can we try and build on, and what can we achieve this season. And I think a big part of that is why Newcastle have chose to keep Kieran Trippier at the club. A £15 million bid made last night by Bayern Munich. Newcastle pretty much rejected it the moment it came through the door. It seemed, because it was released by Fabrizio Romano that Newcastle had received that £15 million bid as quickly as Newcastle had rejected it. And then as of this lunchtime, well, it was actually reported this morning, that Bayern Munich hadn't given up and that they would come back with a further offer. Once you start talking, 20, 25 million, and I've just said it there, if Newcastle want to try and push on FA Cup, try and grab some European football this season, 12, 13 million reported for Trippier is just not enough for me. But once you're talking 25 million, you're going, 33-year-old, maybe. But despite reports that Bayern Munich would come back, it's now being said that Bayern Munich will not push any further, possibly because if you keep getting told no so many times, you're going to go, okay then. And probably for them as well to go much higher than 15, 20, 25 million on a player that would be great for them right now. It'd be great for a Bayern Munich side who need to try and pick up, 7 points to win the league, Champions League. But he is not a long-term prospect for Bayern Munich. He's a now purchase. And they're probably hoping to get a bit of a deal on him from a Newcastle club who, need to sell players, as it's written everywhere in the media. Let's try and grab them at a reasonable price. But Newcastle have stayed strong. Newcastle have said no. Newcastle have rejected a bid. And it's very much thought that Kieran Trippier is not going anywhere. What has, however, seemed to have advanced is this talk on Miguel Almiron. Now, originally it was spoken on the fact that Miggy had agreed a deal with the Saudi Arabian club, the Saudi Pro club, and it was the Newcastleland who had to do the deal. Well, now it's being reported that Newcastle have actually agreed a deal. It's thought the fee could be anywhere from around 25 to 35 million. And look, I love Miggy. He works hard. He's always got a smile. He's got a wonder of a left foot when he wants to. We've had spell, 8 goals last season. You can get into those moods. He's a big part of us getting Champions League. First player to score in the Champions League in 20 years. Look, it's been great. But again, when you look back at pricing and you look at what Newcastle want to do next, for me, if Barnes comes in fit, I'm looking at, can we play Gordon and Barnes on either wing? Murphy comes in, I would, be looking to try and get Murphy in the side as well. With Almiron, I think whether it was this January or the summer, we're looking to bring in the next player up. And that's not to say I wouldn't have kept Almiron. I'm not in a rush. I'm not grabbing him by the collar and kicking him out the door. I would have had him as a squad player to be part of a squad. But when there's decent offers on the table, and look, for Miggy himself, it's a chance to, get a big fat payday, give his family a whole load of wad of money. And also to mention that it's being reported that Atlanta are meant to get a 10-20% sell-on clause as well. So we need to make sure we are getting a good deal for Miggy, because it could well be that as much as 20% of it is actually going straight back to his old club. So whatever we do with that one, we need to make sure we get it right. And it's in the hope that by letting Miggy go, that we can maybe bring another player in as quickly as this January window, you know, for the long-term hopes of seller deals, Adidas deals, and, you know, there's lots of talk on selling players. You know, if you want to take the view that we can wait for the summer, you know, we can wait for the summer when we've got more going on, we've got more time. But I think it's clear that the club want to make something happen now. And with the links to a Gibbs White from Nottingham Forest is certainly an exciting one. It's one that would be an upgrade on Almiron. It wouldn't just be an upgrade for now, but it would be, for me, you know, a longer term upgrade as well. The question is, how much are they going to want for him? Because they've got Nottingham Forest. I said yesterday they paid 25 million for him. Well, that was the upfront fee. It's actually thought that they've played closer to 40 million with all of the different add-ons and etc. You know, for us to make that happen, we have to let a player go. And that's the thing. I understand the idea of, you know what, Rob, we've got some players in. Do we need to sell right now? Well, I'll tell you what, some news on Joe Linton coming out today is not making things any better. Joe Linton saying, as well as the club, that he has now undergone surgery. And he will be out until the end of the season. Now, we went into this window talking about midfielders as being the priority. Now Joe Linton is out. There's no Sandro. You know, it's a good job that Miley's come in and been fantastic at 17-year-old, because without him, you know, we haven't got any midfielders. So we're talking about Gibbs White. Calvin Phillips has gone to West Ham. We need to refocus, I think, a little bit and look back at who's this midfielder. I mean, Gibbs White can't play in the middle, but he's not that number 6. He's not that defensive midfielder that we've been talking about since the start of this window. So with Joe Linton out, Manquillo's gone. Miggy's being linked. There's also being said that we're looking to accept offers for Richie Manquillo. I think I saw something about Dubravka earlier on. So I think we are keeping our options very much open as to what Newcastle could do next with players going. But have we taken a step forward in bringing a player in? Reports are that Newcastle have agreed to bring in the 18-year-old Alfie Harrison from Manchester City. By all intents and purposes, this guy appears to be a bit of a wonder kid. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've been watching his whole career, because his career, you know, is still under 18s, and that's what he has been playing at Manchester City. But a lot of the feedback coming out of Man City is actually, why are we letting this guy go? Why is this happening? He's being likened to Haaland. I think it's the haircut as much as anything else, but there does seem to be quite a lot of positives coming out of that one, and that he could well have a medical in the next few days in the likelihood to sign a long-term deal. Now, it's understood that his deal with Man City was coming to an end, which is basically how he's been allowed to speak to clubs. And don't get me wrong, I have no doubt it would have been more than just Newcastle this guy would have spoken to. I think he would have had plenty of options, but it's the fast track to the first team that has encouraged him to take the deal with us. And I think it's great to have a likes of a Miley playing in Champions League football at the age of 17. It's really showing other teams what we can do. We are hyping, you know, ourselves up as a team that will give young players a chance. You know, I'm sure Man City would have liked to have kept him if he wanted to. He, you know, possibly would have liked to have seen us try his chances at Man City. But where they are right now, you know, and that's the thing what I'd like Newcastle to keep as well. I appreciate we want to go out and we want to buy players, but to have that academy rise, youngsters coming through is very important as well. And to see that we are kind of making background moves on an 18-year-old that, who knows, you know, the way we're going at the moment and what we can get done this January window, maybe he will be given a chance to prove himself sooner rather than later. You know, look at the likes of Yakuba Minter, someone that we also brought in at a young age. We have loaned him out. He's got to Feyenoord. He's done a cracking job to the point where people are trying to bring him back. We're trying to get him back. Eddie Howe said, you know, and I think even Feyenoord have come out and said this, that both teams are very much a fan of the player and want to do what's right for him. And is what right for him pull him out of Feyenoord and drop him in this season? It's hard to tell. It's hard to predict the future. We could bring him back. He could be mint. We could bring him back and it might disrupt what he's doing at the moment over there. But as I say, Alfie Harrison is thought to be getting a medical with the club very soon. So it's nice to see that we are doing it a little bit here and there. And look, if he's good enough to play, he's old enough. That's the way I see it. Let's give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. I've not seen much of him. I don't think any of us has. The YouTube videos looks all right. Let's give this guy a go. Let's give the kid a shot. We'll see what happens. But I think it's clear that Newcastle are working to get some first team business done this January with players leaving. And if this Miggy one does go tonight, tomorrow, can we see a late flurry in the window that could see us? I think if we let Miggy go for 30, there's room there to go centre mid and a replacement winger as well. Let me know your thoughts down below on the Alfie Harrison. Are you excited by an 18-year-old prospect, or are you just going, Rob, give me the first team stuff. Give me Morgan Gibbs-White. Give me someone that fixes us or helps us right now. What do you think about Trippier staying? Is that the right choice? And what do you think about Miggy leaving? Is that the right choice for us, the player, right now? Or should we go and look, hang on, we shouldn't be letting anybody go. We need to keep a hold of these players. We'll work something out the other way. Let me know your thoughts down below. As I said, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Plenty of news coming out in this final week of January. And as I say, plenty to look forward to in the FA Cup this weekend. Hopefully it's a good one. 7 o'clock kickoff down at Craven Cottage with a full day on the beer as well. So it should be good fun. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Comments down below. Catch you later.